Okay, so let's begin the actual layout. I have my hero or the kid hero, and I've just changed the pivot point to be in the center. And to begin, I am going to select O to create a ellipse, and this will be the background. And while holding shift, I'm dragging to create a perfectly round ellipse, selecting it and then centering. And then we will give it a different fill. So I've already got a color, this bright orange. If you missed that, all I did, I copied the hex value over here, but you can also just play around with the sliders and choose a color. Okay, then I want the background obviously to be below or behind the other shapes. So go back to hierarchy and then let's rename this to be background. Okay, then select the background and hitting S for scale will make it slightly bigger. And next, I want to bring in a different asset. So I'm going to bring in the kid hero sitting and then drag that onto the stage. And then immediately, I'm just going to drag out these shapes to the parent layers. And there we go. And then these are just empty nodes. So I'm going to delete that and then select the shape for the body and the head and then hit Control G to group them together. And then I'm going to call this kid and then hit S for scale and T for translates. Okay, let's get him in the center. S for scale, bring him down. T for translate, scale again. And that is almost correct. We will be playing around with the layouts more later. For now, I just want everything to be on the stage. And then I want to give a slightly different background to the kid that's sitting. So selecting O again, we're going to drag out another circle and then T for translate. And that seems about fine. And then for the draw order, we're going to put this just above the orange background. And we're going to call this sitting background, maybe. Okay, and then I want to show you how we can do clipping. So as you can see, okay, both of these also have a border, like that white border. I don't want that, so I'm going to select both of these and remove the stroke. Then selecting the smaller circle, I'm going to select clipping. And then as a target, I'm going to say the orange background. And now you can see that this is clipped to that orange background. So if we change the color, I just want to copy, I actually do like this color. I'm just going to copy that. If we make this red, you can see it a bit clearer that it gets clipped to the background at the back. As an example, if we say T for translate and just move this across, you get pretty cool effects. And this will give you a lot of leeway also when you do animations to get very custom looking effects. So for example, if you're animating for example, the earth spinning around the sun or something like that, then you can just do clipping to show when it is in frame and when it isn't in frame, when it goes behind it, for example. It's very simple to do, like you would always do animation. Just animate the position and then you get some pretty cool effects. For example, if you maybe you're animating like water filling a glass, that would also be a situation where you might be using clipping. Okay, but we won't be using any animation for the clipping, so we're going to go back to design and then just move this to be a background for the kid sitting. And then I'm going to change the color back to that grayish color. And that is that. Later on, I will be giving a shadow to both of the boys. So there will be a shadow that goes from the boy sitting to the boy standing. But because we will be changing the layout later, it doesn't make sense to do the shadow now. The shadow should probably be the last thing that we do to ensure that we don't have to bring constant changes if we do decide to move some of these characters or some of these shapes later.